I guess that's a great segue to get into the Giants since they did
Yeah.
score a win 11-10. They also won 4-2 due to a game that was a little bit. I'm sure you weren't tuned in, but it was a little bit odd, the timing of the rain delay. The
You're
Giants had
talking
runners.
Tuesday night
Yeah,
in
Monday
Cincinnati?
night in Cincinnati.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Let me explain this story. Monday night in Cincinnati, the game ended up suspended in the 8th.
Oh, that's right.
So they had to finish it on Tuesday. But
You rarely see that anymore where they suspend a game. Maybe that happens in the rare circumstance that there's a torrential downpour late in the game and they've got another game the next day in the same city, so it's not a problem just to play an inning before the game starts. But you don't see that very often.
It was a little curious because it took probably about 10 minutes for the rain to actually start after they put the tarp on the field. Now, it was a torrential, like horrendous, like bad thunderstorms like we've all been having in the Midwest. So I don't fault it for being a rain delay.
I'm guessing there was lightning in the area, so they had to evacuate the stands. Is that what the initial delay was called for?
They didn't say that. Nothing was visual. I think maybe part of it was convenient since the Giants had runners on second and third with one out in a tied ball game.
All right.
For them to get the tarp out on the field with any excuse as soon as possible.
Well, don't
JD Davis coming to the plate.
I think the umpires are responsible for that, not the grounds crew. I don't think a rogue grounds crew just runs onto the field with.
They look. No one had any idea. They look like a rogue grounds crew, as far as I'm concerned.
I love a conspiracy theory as much as anybody, but
this is going to
make
that
a bit dubious.
Even more rogue because during it, they were I think the grounds crew was so surprised that they had to get the tarp on the field that a grounds crew member ended up trapped underneath the tarp and had to crawl his way out, for God's sake. Even the grounds crew didn't realize they had to pull the tarp on the field.
Leave no man behind.
That's right. So what ended up happening on the Tuesday, the follow up on in the 8th inning with one out is the Reds escaped with no runs scoring, and they went to extra innings. The Giants went on to win 4-2, so no harm, no foul. But I think the inning could have been decided with the Mo going their way. But
so did they take like a half
little lightning?
Do they take a half hour off between games, just like in a straight double header?
Yeah.
Okay, so that killed the momentum of your triumphant extra innings victory.
Oh no!
You had to wait another half hour, and then you had to play the next game.
Then we had to win 11-10. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You're
having
a rough time over there. It's tough. So bad
but then we, it's looking good, and then we lose 3-2 last night, and then lost 5-1 this afternoon. So that puts us at a whole 2 games out of first right now, tied with the Diamondbacks, who look like they were going to be fading away, but are somehow still sticking around. Both teams are trailing the Dodgers. One thing, I was looking at the schedule. It's really going to be interesting if things stay the way they are. And I kind of, it's pointing to that. I think I can drop the narrative. I think the Giants are for real. I think the Giants are going to be buyers. I think they have a legitimate shot at winning this division, not just the wild card, especially because they play the Dodgers 7 times in their final 10 games.
Oh, wow.
I mean, if you want to talk about season on the line, either team's probably going to be within like 4 games of one another going into those final 10 games. And just to make things even more interesting, the 2 games before they start the first series with the Dodgers are against the Diamondbacks. Wow. Then they play 4 of the Dodgers, 3 with the Padres, and then 3 with the Dodgers to close out the year. So it's I don't think MLB right now, if things avoiding any major implosion from any of the teams, could have asked for a more
That
storybook ending to the
yeah.
NL West this year.
That's gonna be a hell of a couple of weeks right there.
Yeah, so
Hopefully.
I noticed that. I just wanted to point that out now because I feel like if I didn't do it now, somehow I'd forget. So I'm doing it now, way ahead of schedule.
Yeah,
But
do it.
it's going to be interesting last week of September into the first week of October this year for my Giants.
But we're
But
still in July. Let's figure out what the fuck's going on now before this fucking trade deadline.
we're getting Ohtani. We're going to bring this shit home. We're trading for Ohtani. He's
I've actually seen
tradable.
that. I've seen that in respectable publications across the country. I've seen that theory thrown out there. Of
Yeah.
course, I've also seen theories where Otani could go to pretty much any of the other 29 ball clubs in
Yes,
Major League
he's going to the
Baseball. So,
Yankees also.
yeah.
He will not go to the Dodgers, I read, because Moreno will not trade with the Dodgers because they're in the same town.
All
Sounds like
right.
something
Even if they
petty.
gave him the best trade
I know,
package,
I
I
know that
mean,
it sounds like something petty enough for him to do, though. I
I
find
believe
that
it.
story to be plausible based
Yeah,
on what I've known about him.
I think you're right. Sadly
So
enough.
so that's good. That's good for me. That's good for me. That's good business for me. Bad business for the Angels, but that's all they've done for the last what decade and a half. So
I'd say 20 years. Yeah.
yeah, it's maybe 2 decades. So
Word Hole Media.